is still. I'm from the city is still. What is up, everybody? Appreciate you joining us again for another one of these weekly episodes. My name is Anthony, and you are joining us here at Picksburgh. With me, as always, we've got my homie Paul Gate City over here. We got Hans Hoshik down below him. We got Marte,
Invisible.
the good chef down here.
Yeah.
We will pay no attention to why Chef Marte is in the dark room, guys.
Yeah.
We ask no questions when Chef Marte shows up in the pitch black.
I like that policy.
We just assume the worst.
I mean, after last week's picks, that's probably why he's in the dark.
Yeah, touche.
We're all in the dark.
Yeah.
I feel like we might have streamed last week from wherever Marty's hanging out tonight.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, we were way off last week. The Niners, man, Tally's boys definitely showed up and showed off last week.
Yeah, they did.
Put your Rams in their place, man.
They are just killing me softly, man. Killing me softly.
I hear you. There's another LA team that put my boys in place just last night, which does not make for a very happy Anthony on this Monday morning.
I mean, well, when it takes a first time in NFL history type performance to win a game, you kind of tip your hat a little bit. You know, he's the first ever to throw for over 390 or over 350 and rush for 90 in a game, something like that, with 3 touchdowns, something like that. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do want to say big what's up to my man Art. He's asking one of Alan's favorite questions. Alan really likes when people call him personally and ask this question.
My number's now.
I do happen to know the exact answer for the most part. I'm almost positive the cards that you were part of was my group sub. Almost positive yours are either graded or in grading right now. So that means that they're either leaving my queue and heading to Alan's queue, or they're already in Alan's queue. So once you go from there, you head over to Marty, and then it's a good chef's job to press you. Which, I don't know, that sounds wrong in a lot of different ways. Brian in the house. What's up, my man? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Got Huddle Card Collection in the house. What is going on?
Hey, Michael, what's up, buddy?
Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you being here. We got my man Moneybound M in the house. Appreciate you being here. Art, I'll keep you posted though. As that progresses, the bulk subs take a little bit longer. Those are on like a 60 to 90 day turnaround, just because they're like normally whenever I turn them in, they're like anywhere from 200 to 300 cards. So normally they're pretty overwhelming size. We normally turn them over much faster than that, but that's the standard turnaround on like a big bulk over 100 card sub. Jonathan, what is up, my man? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening, my man. So, how's everybody doing this evening? Everyone having a solid day? I know I'm still like rebounding from this past week where I got ginsued, which has not been fun. But on the plus side, TGT rolls on, baby. You know, there's no rest for the weary. You know, that's why Alan got them those eye bags.
Yeah, that's why this is starting to play. That's why this is starting to mold its way.
Yep, we're gonna have to get this man like a facial for Christmas, Marty. I know that you're that.
No, anything but a Marty facial. No.
Totally messing up.
You don't want the chef special lips.
No. No extra sauce, no creamy filling, none of that stuff. No.
Michael says, I tell the grader he doesn't get to eat until he gets his grades done. That's what I'm saying. Like, you should ground him if his grades don't get done. Absolutely. And Mike actually, he actually is working on a bulk sub right now too. So he's been crushing that sub. And
I'm on a big bulk sub too.
Yep.
I actually wanted to ask you about that. So like, this is like your first like substantial like grading assignment. Like, what do you think of it so far? Just like as like being a first time grader.
Well, as I was talking earlier, I always thought finding the defects was going to be the hardest part, but by far the part that I thought would be the simplest is actually the hardest, which is determining the centering. The centering by far is the hardest thing to define. You would think, okay, just pick a few points, but not all cards have the same points, and so like especially like modern era. If you get back into like the junk wax era, even before that, they've got solid borders. You could pick that up, but like the modern era stuff, the splashes, even some of the prisms and mosaic, there's not hard points. It's actually the hardest thing to determine, and so that's what I'm a little struggling with. Finding the rest, the edgewares, the corners, and the defects, actually is pretty simple. But it's the centering that it's really kind of being tough right now.
Yeah. And that's one where eventually you'll get to the point where you just look at the card and it doesn't even have to have the centering tool applied yet. You'll just be like, that's a 4-3. Right. Or that's 3-3. Like you'll eventually get to that point. And then as you do more like different types of cards, that's why I thought it'd be a good idea to get you started in a bulk sub, because there's different cards from different types of people and probably all different genres as well.
Yeah, so I've done everything from baseball, basketball, football. I even did a Marvel card. I think the only thing I haven't done is like maybe I think there was one hockey card I looked at, but there's been. I think I saw a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one in there too that I haven't got to yet, but I saw it.
Yeah,
so.
There's always a really nice bunch that gets sent into my like monthly group subs, so it's always super cool. That was actually how Mike Huddle Card Collection got trained too on the first group sub that I put in.
Right.
Like it's all, like I said, it's always a good mix of stuff too. Like where you might see modern cards, you might see like older cards, and
Yeah, the simplest ones to do, of course, is the Steeler cards, because you always start at an 8 and go down.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's been their performance as of late, so I can't really complain. Very good, my man. Appreciate you being here, brother. So, did anybody have any good pickups this week? Like any exciting cards come in the mail, or any like exciting auctions you're watching on eBay or anything like that, without giving that card away for somebody to dislike from you?
Anything Luka Doncic right now, either first year, second year, I'm cleaning house on right now. I think Marty and I talked about it. Like I've picked up at least like 4 the last day and a half.
Yep, I got 2 Lukas away as well.
Just on auction, like these are really flying under the radar, and I think I'm not sure what Marty's eyeing, but I know I'm just snagging PSA 9 Lukas that look like they could grade 10s.
Yeah,
just because they're cheap. Like I think I got a second year select Ruby Red Wave Luka for like, what was it, $30-something or something like that, PSA 9. Mm-hmm. So
insane how cheap you can get some stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've really seen lately too, Marty just sent me a picture the other night. Trey Young picked up.
Yeah.
It was like a CSP. What was it, a 9, Marty?
Yeah.
What did you pay? Like under $20 for it? Like
it was a 2018 Optic rated rookie CSG 9, and I got it for 19 and some change.
Yeah. No brainer.
That's insane. Like I don't even think Raw sells that cheap. And I think that's a big mistake a lot of people are making, like that resell graded cards. If you're not selling at a PSA or like a BGS, like even SGC, this will help you on to some extent, just because their search and their algorithm is not as strong for, let's say an SGC. It's a lot better now since PSA and Beckett have been shut down for a while. But if you're selling anything that's not a PSA on eBay, your best friend is just buy it now or best offer. Because what happens is it's the same as like YouTube, right? So the title to this show, like personally, I think sucks. But because people that are going to be looking for this type of content, look up sports card investing, collecting, grading, flipping, those type of things. I incorporated all of those words into this title, where Anthony would much rather have a nice, clever name that, would be, thoughtful to draw people in. But if I want people to actually find it, I have to put what people are actually searching for in the title. So that's why this is the biggest pro tip, because I'm telling you, I've sold cards from, GMA all the way to PSA to like every company. And the best way to get your bang for your buck is to not do auction, because what happens is people are looking for the card, and being that there's not very many results for CSG or whatever it was, Marty ends up getting a card for less than raw. Like it's insane, but it's because there's not very many eyes on it. But on the other side, the flip side to this, knowing this, you can actually get some really killer deals on stuff, which is what Marty and Alan have been doing this week. And I mean, Alan, didn't you say you paid like $12 for like a PSA 9 Luca or some kind of Luca this week?
Yeah, I got it's a mosaic. What is it? He Got Game or what is it? Will to Win? One of those two. I think it's a PSA 9 Will to Win mosaic prism, and it was like $9. PSA 9. Yeah, and I'm always like texting Marty, "Hey man, good deal," because Marty like knows this is like his memory bank of like what a card is worth in his brain. Like he knows, because he's always searching, or he has like the latest comps. So I'll like reference him really quick, and I'll be like, I'll look at real other comps quickly too. Like right now, I have like a queue. There's like a queue of PSA 9 and 10s, Donruss rated rookie Luka, just like 10 in a row, all from the same guy probably that's trying to sell them. And you could see the different prices for bid on them. So if you can somehow snag one for less, or get that one that's ending about 20 minutes after, you're in. You're gonna get a deal like Marty got.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan picked up an Heir to the Throne, Cole Anthony. I love those cards. I have one of Garland and I have one of Okoro, I believe, as well. Brian picked up a 2021 Origins Giannis base variation 2 parallels for serial numbered card. That's awesome. KF Stu, good to see you. Appreciate you here. Baseball Clips, appreciate you being here as well. So I think base cards in some sort of a bubble. I only purchase numbered cards now. Yeah, I could see that. There's been a drastic decline base card market here just over the last year even. Because I think what happened there with the base card market going so wild, there were so many people like that were like 80s and 90s collectors that like back in the day, like there was like one base card of the player that was like considered their like good rookie. So I think what happened was a lot of these people that like had that kind of mindset were like, okay, well, what's like the one base card, that is the good one for these guys? And everybody's like, oh, let's just buy the heck out of Prism base. And then they basically just made it like literally in 1 year more populated than the Ken Griffey Jr. PSA 10, which like literally held that record for, I don't know, since like the mid 90s for being like one of the most populated cards. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've personally been trying to stick to a little bit more of the rarity. The funny thing was I got several graded card submission back this week, like some of my like older group submissions and stuff from GMA, CSG, and SGC back this week. And that was one thing I said to Marty. I was like, wow, man, like I don't even like typically grade this type of stuff anymore. It's like been that long since like we've seen these cards, because like it was like, yes, Isaac Okoro, but it was like Prism draft picks base. There was like 2 Prism draft picks base. I'm thinking I spent $8 to encapsulate that. Like I love me some Isaac Okoro, but I've already have like pretty much every parallel slabbed with like every other company. I can't believe I spent $8 a piece to encapsulate these cards that are like literally worth 99 cents on eBay right now. But I have a sickness. I can't help it. You know what I mean? Like, I think you got like a CSG 9 Okoro. It's just like a base Donruss insert, Marty. And I was like, dude, I was doing a reveal of your stuff, and I'm like, dang, I'm thinking already, like, what can I trade him for that? Like, I already know I have like a red laser of that in a TGT slab that's 100 times better, but I don't have this junky base one. And I want it, you know what I mean? So it's like as I'm filming, I'm like, I think I need to make a trade with Marty, because it's just a sickness I have. But yeah, it was interesting to see because even like some of the stuff Marty sent in is stuff like this is the stuff Anthony sends in to flip. You know what I mean? Like, because I'll be the guy sending in all the dollar box stuff. Marty's the one sending in them like 20 and plus dollar cards. Did you get that Luca at auction, Alan?
Yep. Yeah, I got about 11 in my queue right now. I just got warned that my 11 auctions are ending in an hour, so I'm keeping my eye on this. There's two that I'm looking at. Marty will be impressed with this. There's not the first one, but the second one. There's a Luca 2019-2020 red cracked ice prism that's for $3.25. PSA 9 ends in about 2 hours.
Nice.
And then I'm looking at a 2019 mosaic stained glass Luca PSA 9. It's at bid $127 right now.
Get it, man.
That's what I'm looking at right now. That thing sells for about $1,500 from what I've seen. So just eyeing them.
Yep. Hopefully that's the case, Spider. I just got some hella JT back from GMA, and I don't know if I might have got some from CSG. Probably not though, because I think I sent mostly basketball there, didn't I, Mark?
Yeah, you were mostly basketball.
But I got a bunch of
I have that other order back, and I know I have some Taylor in there.
A lot of JT.
Yeah, I had a ton of JT like acetates. I sent them all in.
Wait, isn't Paul a LeBron fan? What do you think about LeBron's little MMA move yesterday?
I am actually not a LeBron fan. I was not a fan of LeBron going to the Lakers. I'm not a fan of Westbrook on the Lakers either. So I'm actually really not paying attention a whole heck of a lot to basketball right now. But it is what it is. Hopefully, in a couple of years, those two will be off the team. I can go back to absolutely rooting for them. But I'm just not a big LeBron fan. I've never really have been. But
yeah,
I actually got something real interesting this week. This is the 88 Jose Canseco Fleer Air set.
Oh, nice.
See what the air is?
Canseco.
It's his name is Canco, and it's so this is the entire set, and I bought it for. See if I can get it on $1.
Nice.
$1.
Since it's the whole set, I think I'm going to send it to GMA and get the entire thing graded have the only graded set just to have. So
I don't
It
blame
hurts
you.
our feelings where you're sending it. That hurts our feelings.
I mean,
I'm
did
totally joking.
I did just have 4 straight days worth of GMA on my
I
channel.
know.
You know what's funny? Like my channel died more each day. Like no offense to GMA because like I've made a ton of money flipping their stuff, but like literally like the first day it was like okay 140 views. Second day it was like 70 views. Third day it was like 40 views. It was like my channel died a little bit more each day. So it's like I'm glad we're finally back to some non-GMA related content. So.
But I mean, now that I'm working with you, is like my stuff goes at the end of the line anyway, so might as well send it to the GMA, and might come back.
Fair. I will be very happy when LeBron and Westbrook leave and we get Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis on the team.
That would be nice.
Yeah. I was hoping it would come in today, but it actually shipped today. I'll have a big pickup for next week. I bought a bunch of boxing cards. Something I'm getting into more and more is boxing. They're all PSA graded boxing cards, so older stuff, not anything newer. So I'll show those off next week.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, there's some real value in that. I know that Ryan Nolan over at Breakout Cards is picking up some boxing stuff out at the National. We were out there. Mocha, what is up, my man? Good to see you. Been doing good, man. How about yourself? Always a pleasure to see you. So my next.
Well, let's talk about that. Since Alan brought it up, let's talk about the MMA fight at the, Detroit and. That's not the first fight in the Malice at the Palace there.
No, there's been a lot of them.
You know what? I thought
intentional or unintentional. What do we say?
You want to know I'll wait for them because I played basketball for years and I'll tell you what it was, but I'll wait for them.
You know what I think it was? It might not have been fully intentional, but I'm pretty sure LeBron was probably treating him like, okay, you're like a, punk young player. I'm the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like he was probably talking some trash. And I actually thought it was pretty refreshing to see this dude sack up and like, I don't care if you're LeBron James. Like you bloodied my face. Let's go, bro. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that like you should fight in the middle of a basketball court, but like at least he didn't like cry about it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I wanted to see Beef Stew drop him, man. Screw LeBron. You know how I feel.
I know you definitely don't like LeBron.
You know what?
I think
Of course,
it was
this the same week I traded for the 2003 tops, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
I think it was half intentional. I don't think he meant to hit him in the face, but I do think that he meant to kind of swing at him. I was happy that the kid stood up to him, but he took it a little too far when he tried to go after him twice. Like you go after, you get the initial one, you show that you're standing up to him, you get pushed away. Maybe you take another run at him. That's cool. But the guy went after him like 3 times.
Yeah,
it's like I think that's where he stepped over the line.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I do think it was intentional, but I don't think he intentionally meant to hit him in the face.
This is the good old kidney shot,
Right?
Move. Okay, I've done this move many a time myself, but not to that extent. Where he guy's got his arm on him and he swings down with his elbow into the rib kidney. LeBron came kind of up, but also he's coming. I'm not making any excuse, but his head is kind of down, where LeBron's big ass pointy elbow comes into his face, and I'm glad that the kid Isaiah Stewart, right? He goes to him. He says, "Hey, I didn't like that very much. Let's have dinner sometime." Discussion, right? It's when he walks away, and then he runs backward, a la Doug Christie, right? Tries to get more, goes into the locker room, tries to get more. Like, dude, we get it, but it was intentional, but not to the extent of where he wanted to hit him in his face. I think it was more of a kidney move. From what I've known to do myself back in the day.
Yeah. Also, Space Jam 2 sucked.
I still haven't seen it. I need to.
You thought it was the Monstars.
You know what I need to do is head down the street and pick up one of them bootleg copies. That's what I need to do. So Baseball Clips is asking, do you think it'd be good to buy a Mike Tyson rookie card since he has an upcoming fight? I think Mike Tyson rookie card would be dope to have because, in my opinion,
a Mike Tyson rookie card is a good pickup anytime because regardless of his out of the ring stuff, he's a GOAT of that sport. And so anytime you can get anything Mike Tyson, you pick it up no matter what, because I mean, again, you look at those, players in each sport or people in each sport, Tiger in golf, so Tyson in boxing is always a good pickup no matter what, no matter if he's got a fight coming up or retired. I mean, at this point in time, the sway in his values really won't make a difference.
So you would know the boxing market better than me, but like one thing I've been doing hot and heavy is just picking up like Hall of Fame, like wrestling autographs, like guys that would be like comparable to like the Tom Brady's or the Joe Montanas, or you know what I mean? Like guys like that, just like in wrestling, like the Ric Flairs. And I would imagine like
remember this, Ric Flair has more championships than Tom Brady.
He does. Woo! You know what? His daughter does too.
Oh, that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
See, wrestling for me is I mean, I get it. I mean, I watch it sometimes and things like that. But as far as like collectability, it's kind of hard to judge because I mean, as much as, because of being a participant in it. I mean, it's rough. It's a tough thing. And you have to have some athleticism and things like that. But it's like buying a Iron Man card with Robert Downey Jr.'s signature on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, what's the, like, appeal is the wrong word, but it's like, what's the collectability there? Because it's a character, but it's also an athlete. So it's kind of, to me, it's a really weird market.
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
Definitely understand. I will add to this. I'll tell you what I will be buying after Thanksgiving on my Black Friday. Pop Century, you can't see it, but Pop Century boxes.
Yeah,
that'll be awesome. We need to do some breaks of those.
A Leo White and a little bit of Bud Bundy for everyone.
That'll be dope. Speaking of which, you'll get to grade those soon, Paul. Like my Bud Bundy order, I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Ooh, Bud Bundy.
Grading. That group sub. David Faustino may be in there.
It is.
So you're going to have the honor and the privilege of grading the first of my Bundy collection. So, yeah, that's a really good comparison here as far as like the 80s, BJ. Good to see you too, my man. Could you imagine like what if LeBron ran into like the bad boy Pistons like that? Like that
He wouldn't be
wouldn't
playing.
last.
He wouldn't be playing.
oh my God, that would be awful.
He would have no chance of playing basketball ever again.
Yeah. It's like, hi, I'm Bill Lambier. Here's my foot.
No, he'd have to deal with Rodman, Sally, Lambier, Dantley, Aguirre. Dumars would probably guard him. He'd have a tough out.
Dude, that is sick, man. BJ got a on-card auto of Magic Johnson graded 9, auto graded a 10. Nice.
Oh, thank you for getting that for me. I appreciate that. I knew you cared.
Dude, I actually have not even watched it yet, Michael. It's definitely on my to-do list. I go back and rewatch it on Peacock like after the fact normally.
Rick Moore.
But I have heard good things. I heard a lot of people were bummed that The Rock didn't come back.
Yeah, how are you going to advertise a show as Rock 25 and not have The Rock on?
I know, dude.
So sad. What a waste.
So BJ says, do you have a Marvin Hagler boxing card?
I'm going to look to see if I got it in this big shipment that I got coming to me. I can't remember. I mean, I spent a big I sent a chunk of change on this, but I don't remember everything I got in it. I bought a bunch of stuff because it was real cheap. But I'll look and see if I got any Marvin Hagler coming. Yep, right there. PSA, Marvin Hagler. I got 2 coming.
Nice.
Beautiful.
That's super dope.
Yeah, so here, same as up. BJ, come back next week and you'll see him.
Ooh.
I'll show him in my review for what I got. Yeah, Rick Mahorn. That's who I was thinking of.
Rick Mahorn?
I'll put it in there. Yeah, Rick Mahorn would bend LeBron in half.
That is awesome, Meyer. Appreciate that, brother. Love me some wrestling cards. I've been going so heavy after them lately. But yeah, they're just so undervalued. Like to be able to get like cards at the rate I'm getting them, for like legendary people, it's insane. So here's a hot take I got from one of my comments in one of my videos this week. So I'd mentioned something about Joe Burrow and how I'm going to probably stash a few of his cards just because I believe in him. And I was revealing I had a couple from GMA that 10, and they were nothing sexy. They're base cards, but I don't have a whole lot of Burrow tucked aside. So there was a comment, shout out to This The Breaks, always provides great feedback and information to the content I put out. I really appreciate that. But he left a hot take. He said you should also start stashing some Jamar Chase as well, because he feels that when it's all said and done, Jamar Chase is going to be a top 10 all-time wide receiver. And I was like, man, that is a bold statement. But then it had me thinking, like, all right, well, like amongst like sports, it doesn't have to be football. Like, what's like one player? Like, if I had to put you on the spot, that you'd have to like put their name in, saying like, 10 years from now, it's going to be like having a LeBron James type player. Like, who would that be for you? And like I said, it doesn't matter which sport. We'll just kind of go clockwise. We'll start with Paul.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So, like, who's one young player, regardless of sport, that you feel like is going to end up being a top 10 all-time player that's like playing right now? That like, if you were to say, hey, like I'm going to go all in, stashing this guy's cards because I believe in him that heavy, like who would it be?
Any sport right now?
Any sport, yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting? Do you know? And I don't know the exact. I don't know the exact spot he comes in. But do you know? There's a baseball player who's played in the last 2 years. He has a top. He's in the top 10 of the most cards graded from PSA. You know who that is? Young baseball player just came up.
Jack Wilson.
Nope. Baseball player. Gavin Lux.
Gavin
Lux is within the top 10. He has something like 20,000 cards been sent to PSA for grading.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's wild.
I mean, there's a lot of people going all in on Gavin Lux. It was the video from today, maybe it was yesterday, was baseball card collector, investor, dealer in that order. But he does really good videos about these top 10s of this, that, the other, junks out. But he did the top 10 graded at PSA, and Gavin Lux was in the top 10. So
wow,
I mean that's saying something.
That's solid.
A player like that. I think Soto was in there too, but Lux was above both of them. So
that's not a bad pick.
That's not a bad pick.
We might have to get Alan to get us some Dodgers tickets so that we can verify that pick.
Yeah, we can do something like that.
Is that in budget, Mark?
Yeah. You know what? I think we need to make it happen one way or the other.
It'll happen.
All right, cool.
It'll happen. We'll go.
All right. So, how about you, Alan? If you had to pick one, I mean, I kind of
aside from Luka.
I was gonna say it's like a no-brainer.
Aside from Luka, I got one for you.
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball.
That's a good one. That's high price for him.
Just based on like what you see from the guy, like he's not even a top scorer yet, but he does everything else really well. So if he could figure out how to, up the average of points, he could be dangerous. This guy could be he could be Westbrook, but better because he's a better shooter already than Westbrook. He's probably on point with his passing, but I think his defense is better. So he can get there if he gets.
I think he's got a high basketball IQ.
He's very smart.
He's a very, very smart player. I think he already knows when he needs to score versus when he needs to facilitate.
Right, but he needs to be on the right team. He needs to be in the right system to get to that like top 10.
Yeah,
he could be based on talent. I'm not saying he's gonna be, but top 10 talent, yes, he could be. Because it's always arguable. Like, if you pick 10 basketball players, we're all going to have different basketball players for sure. Same with baseball, same with boxing. Everyone's going to have different top 10. So,
dude, I'm hoping Debo's one of them, Tally. Not only because his name is Debo. Like, I automatically love him because his mother named him Debo, which is sentimental to me because, I mean, let's be honest, Tiny Zeus Lester is one heck of a human being.
Debo.
But secondly, he's also one of the people that I got scorched for picking in like almost every one of my fantasy leagues this year, which I'm very happy for the resurgence that this man has had. He's literally looking like a beast. So shout out to Debo Samuel.
100%.
I feel like Debo Samuel, James Conner, and Antonio Brown all got together and were like, you know what? People are making fun of Picksburgh again. We need to go ball out. So what I did was I went and got the Monstars from the first Space Jam. We went and stole some talent, and I gave it to them guys. So yeah, Cunha Jr., Juan Soto, those are some good picks. Tatis, Connor McDavid, definitely.
Glad.
Who do you think, Mark?
Well, you kind of stole my thunder because I've been stockpiling Burrow like crazy. Other than him, I mean, Herbert's an animal. I just got to see firsthand what he did to my boys.
I know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They were lacking Watt, Hayden, and Fitzpatrick on that side of the ball. No hate, though. But honestly, they really don't have any cards out yet that I'm targeting per se because I'm waiting for some pro use. But Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes, man, I think both of them have stud potential. I want to put away as much Mobley as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Alan were just talking about that last night, how I'm like bummed that there's literally no pro uni Mobley's out because with him being injured right now, it's perfect time to go out and buy stuff. But most of the stuff you're going to buy by the time he's healthy again is going to lose value because it's like the cheapest as far as, the non-pro jersey stuff goes because it's not even like Prism draft picks yet. It's like literally
Chronicles.
It's Chronicles, dog.
Chronicles.
Yeah, I could go buy all the Chronicles I want right now from Walmart.
Yep.
No, nobody wants any of that stuff right now.
Nope.
You know what? I'd be curious to kind of ask not only you guys but the chat too. This is something I was thinking. I kind of already kind of have an idea where Marty's going to go, so I'm going to kind of let him lead this one off. But case hits, like the big insert cards, like for example the Kabooms or the downtowns, like those type of cards that the color blasts, the stuff that people are
thin glass
hot and heavy with right now. Or do you think those are stuff that like every like Panini, Topps, like whoever is going to just run till like the wells dry and they're not going to have the long-term value? Do you think long-term they're going to be like these super rare X-Fractor inserts like we see like from the 90s of like Michael Jordan right now? Like, do you think it's worth going out and dropping a couple $100 on a Kaboom of your favorite player?
I mean,
better served taking that $200 and putting it towards something that's like already locked in. What do you? That's what I'm asking. Is this like future arbitrage? Do you think like Kabooms are going to be big 10, 20 years from now?
I think it all comes down to like number one. I think we'd all agree a lot of new collectors have been made this generation, like these last couple of years, right?
Yeah, sure.
They're going to remember right off the bat, just like for us, we remember the 86 Fleer Jordan or the 89 Upper Deck. These Kabooms are going to be like the big money cards of their youth. So in turn, when they get older, have their own expendable income, it's probably something that they're going to target, provided that, depending on what happens with Fanatics, I say with that caveat.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you can't go wrong with a case hit just based off the limited production runs. I mean, one per case, obviously, they're not printing 30,000 of these cards.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And
I like to find kind of like I like some of the lower end, or like not even the lower end, but some of the more like everybody knows Downtown, everybody knows the Kaboom, but like I look at like the Night Moves from Dawn Rust. I think that set looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I like Drip a lot from Prestige. Just different cards like that. It's still affordable, but you're getting the rarity with it as well.
Right. It's almost like if I was going to go get a Luka Doncic Kaboom that sells for like $3,000, right?
Yeah.
And I see a National Treasure RPA hovering around the same price. Which one do you think I'm going to go get?
Well, I'd hope you'd get the autograph if they're around the same price.
Right, unless mommy signed it. But yeah, I would go get the autograph. So it's kind of like you got to make the right choice. But I agree with Marty. Like I would have like a second tier insert, like a zebra or tiger stripe, maybe, as opposed to a Kaboom or a stained glass or something like that. So maybe you get, because I think the Tigers are out of 35, even though it doesn't say it, but it's a short print. So it's kind of a similar thing, like your Anthony Edwards Tiger stripe, Marty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty nice card.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. I can't wait.
Yeah.
What's up, Tom? Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you being
Well,
here.
I've pulled two downtowns. I pulled a downtown Obi Toppin, and I pulled a downtown Bryce Harper.
Oh, that's
neither one are, because the Bryce Harper, of course, doesn't say the Phillies on it or anything like that, because it's out of Panini. They don't have the MLB trademarks and stuff like that. So an Obi Toppin was from Prism Draft. So they weren't great ones, but they were still okay ones. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like would I spend the money on something like that? I mean, unless it's something that I'd like really absolutely had to have, probably not. I mean, I guess I'm more of a value guy. It's like, what else could I buy with that? And is there more value in the opposite of what I could buy with that? So, I mean, the only thing that I would like absolutely, unless they make some type of short print or a reprint, not reprint of it, or retired players would be like a Kobe or something like that. Yeah. If they made a Kaboom of a Kobe or something like that. But as far as like when I seek one out for the value, probably not.
Have you found any of those? Because I know you're like a case hit hunter, Mart, whenever you get going on eBay in the middle of the night. Have you noticed any differences in like the cost of like any of the Kabooms or downtowns or any of like the big case hits that like people are like chasing after right now as far as like the aftermarket?
I think it depends on which set you find the Kabooms in, because like the ones from the Prism Draft, typically aren't going to carry as much as the ones from like Panini 1 or like I think the 18 Luca was like a cornerstone one or something like that.
Mhm.
So those sets that are automatically more expensive, like even like the kabooms, and you notice a difference in the pricing.
For sure.
Plus, obviously it's not going to be in Pro Uni in a Prism Draft Picks kaboom.
Yeah.
I agree. Those Marvels are pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
I feel like the only time I ever get a case hit is like whenever Marty sells it to me or trades me it.
We got a Darius Garland photon and a Okoro downtown sitting in the office right now.
I know. And I really regret having my Okoro downtown at PSA right now because I know Hot Hand makes the nicest downtown label on the market.
True.
No, you pulled a case hit. You pulled a photon Jahemus Ramsey in front of my eyes.
That's true. I did pull a Jameis Ramsey. I didn't even know it was a case hit when I.
We didn't either. I didn't either. I was like, oh, it's just Jahemus Ramsey. Get him out here.
I think I had to like go back to the video and put like a little pop up like, hey, this was a case hit. Like,
Yeah.
I gave it like no like.
Give it the looks over.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Jameis Ramsey. It's like nothing. But yeah, it's like meanwhile, it's like literally the only card that looks like that in the entire case.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Has anybody else pulled a printing plate? I pulled one of some no-name rookie. I got a printing plate as an auto. I think it was a wide receiver for like Dallas. It was like some no-name rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So, I think that's cool. When they're done with them, they put the printing plates in a pack. That's got to be one of the coolest things to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me personally, I'd much rather have an autographed printing plate than maybe something like that because that is a true 1-of-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pulled the printing plate of some guy we didn't even know, and then I pulled a Eli Manning 1-of-1 Ole Miss printing plate.
Nice.
Auto. So those are the two printing plates I got.
Yeah, I've never pulled one. My favorite one I've ever owned, I actually gave it away to another YouTuber. But when I found out that they had the same love for this person I did, I just had to share the love. But it was a LeVar Ball printing plate. It was like the dopest thing ever. Like literally the dopest thing ever. But I found out they were real big into the big ballers. So I was like, I got to pass on the love. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for it out of the bargain box. But
the BBB.
But I mean, like that's the type of stuff I like. Like I would rather have a $2 card of LeVar Ball than like anything like super big and crazy.
I could go see one of the Ball brothers. Their play for the local the D League is actually right here where I live at, so I can go see what's that.
D'Angelo.
Yeah,
D'Angelo.
Yeah, D'Angelo. Yeah, he plays for the Swarm, which is right here locally.
Nice.
D'Angelo.
Yeah, that's true, Jason. You think they would get a little bit more love being that they are like a true 1-of-1? When you figure like sometimes like an RPA might get like hella love whenever it might not even actually be a jersey that ever touched that player. You know what I mean? So that is interesting. That doesn't get a little bit more love overall. But I would like to see it get a little bit more though, just because of the true 1-of-1 nature of it.
As things progress, remember how like let's say early 2000s, late 90s, all the cards with the freaking the jersey cards had really just become a thing at that point. And they were super popular. Now, let's be honest, your average jersey card is a dime a dozen.
Right.
It's just how things
and that's the thing is that they make jersey cards for just about everybody. If they limited it to like the stars and semi-stars, I think they would hold a little more value. But like anybody can have a jersey card now, and it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, none of those. I mean, like barely any of them are guaranteed to be game used or even worn by that player. Like for all I know, Panini could be walking into their local Ross Dress for Less, grabbing some jerseys, hacking them up with a pair of scissors, and trying to pass that off as one of my hits.
Yep.
To me, that takes away a ton of the appeal for it.
Yep. For sure.
Seriously, couldn't you see a Panini rep just walking into a Ross, like just buying up like a Limas Swede 2007 Steeler jersey and passing off that as a Ben Roethlisberger patch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be wild. This would probably be better served for you, Paul. You're a baseball guy. This break said I would cop a dozen J India rookie cards, grade and sell for sure next season.
I mean, baseball rookie stuff is really tough for the last couple of years because of the pandemic really kind of limited the playing time for some of those newer kids and stuff like that. So I think now within this year and possibly you'll start to see those rookies that are because Juan DeFranco and Jason Dominguez have supposed to have been the star players for their respective teams for the last 3 years, but I think combined they've played like 10 games together. So like some of that type of stuff is really Whit Merrifield was Bobby Witt was another one. But they just didn't play Ryan Mountcastle. There's all these players that were just been hanging out in the minor leagues because they haven't had the volume of games to play yet. So like baseball rookies have been real tough over the last couple of years.
Tom, that's awesome, man. Marty actually gave me a Heath Miller with a piece of Super Bowl ticket in it not too long ago from Super Bowl 40. Was that the Super Bowl 40 or was it the other one?
No, it was 40.
He was a rookie in 40, right?
Yeah.
Thought so. Yeah, it's pretty dope. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I love those cards. That like unique stuff. Like another card I got that's like one of my favorites. I think Drew might have gave it to me. If not, it was either Marty or Paul because you guys sent me like your Steeler stuff. But it's called a stud card, and it's literally a card of Cordell Stewart, and like he has a pierced ear, and like it actually has like an earring gem in it, and that's like the part of the card that's unique and it's like a fake earring. Super cool though. So I'm like an uber Cordell collector.
You might be the only uber Cordell collector.
Yeah, he might be the only one.
I really might be. We're a dying breed nowadays. Only the real Cordell collectors have survived. I happen to have in the other room right now. It's like the creepiest little doll of Cordell Stewart. Like I've never seen anybody else collect these until like I saw Omar from Retro Hoops have like a Sean Kemp and a Dennis Rodman like displayed behind him. So I'm gonna need to find a way once I get like my nice setup like this to have my Cordell doll up.
Mark it on Cordell dolls to blow it up.
That's the next thing, man. Like they're grading VHS tapes now. When are they going to start grading vintage Cordell Stewart dolls? Like I feel like if I do it now, I might be the first. You never know. I could be like the Honus Wagner of like I don't know, starting NFLs one day. I mean, Vergel came back out of retirement. I've spoken weirder things into existence.
Again.
Classic printer's proof. I'm not sure. I'll have to go like recheck my. The thing that's so weird is like my PC is in so many different places now. I have like multiple stacks at the office. I have like multiple stacks in my upstairs room. I have multiple stacks in my basement. So, like getting them all into like one central location and getting them bindered like I've been wanting to has just been such a task. Alan makes me do too much work. So on account of that, I haven't been able to go through my Cordells thoroughly. That Rice stud would be pretty sick, though. Yeah, so normally every week, guys, we will go right up until the Monday night countdown starts. So we go to about 8 p.m. Eastern. So take the last few minutes to kind of give your predictions for the game tonight. So this evening, we got a big matchup with Tom Brady's Buccaneers versus the lowly. Who are they playing, Adam?
New York Football Giants.
The New York Football Giants.
Giants.
New York Football Giants.
I mean, they got to
be confused with the New York Baseball Giants.
Yes, and yeah, well, that's old, but
right.
Saquon Barkley is in the lineup tonight, got active, and Gronk is active as well, but limited snap count. Just keeping up on my stuff before the game for everyone.
So we'll give the chat a minute to predict this one, but do you think with Saquon Barkley in the lineup, did any of us give the Giants a fighting chance? Because last week, as you know, we we basically said we don't want to hear nothing about this underdog 49ers. We don't give them any chance against these Rams. And as we all know, the Rams came out, laid an egg, and the Niners came out and they did Tally proud. So
I should have known. I should have known when that line was only 3.5. I should have known.
So here's kind of where we're heading this week, guys. So as you can see, we're all going with the Bucks. So we all also believe that the Bucks are going to cover the spread tonight.
Smoke.
I think the
chef's underneath it.
Yep. So the lowest line that really any of us thought that it would come to is 10 points. So that'd be the closest.
Let me see what the current line is. I think it still sits at 10.5. 10.5. 10.5 is the current line. So if you're going with Chef Marte, he says take the Giants with the points.
Yep, by 0.5.
By 0.5.
Tally's going with the Giants.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Ooh, I think I should get a Trey Lance back for that one.
DJ and the Giants, 13-10. I hope you guys are right. You know what I mean?
I will say, man, I think Daniel Jones has very much so improved this year.
I agree.
Like, I really do. I mean, I know there was a lot of bust talk at the beginning of the season. I don't think he's a bust at all. I don't think he's ever going to be league MVP. But, I mean, I still don't think it's going to be enough. I think Tom Brady's going to come out pissed this week and just knock the doors off him.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing. If I was to go opposite of Tom Brady this week, I would not be at home and I would be on a couch.
I think LeGarrette Blount also is going to get 2 touchdowns this week.
Thank you. I need 1 point for him for fantasy this week.
LeGarrette Blount?
He means Leonard Fournette.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, LeGarrette Blount, guys. He's coming back.
Hey, man.
Yes. Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette. I know what you mean.
He's going to be the next.
Le'Veon could get busted on McKnight Road again.
Ooh, yeah. I like Leonard Fournette 2 touchdowns. I think Paul was big on the Tom Brady bandwagon tonight too.
Yeah, I think TB12's got something to prove after a poor showing last week. Primetime game. I don't know his real stats in primetime, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty good in primetime.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
are you talking like record or
I'm thinking he's going to come up gunning, or regardless of Gronk or not. I mean, 4 touchdowns is what I'm saying.
4 touchdowns. Wow. Let me see here. I'm going to go a little bit different here. I'm going to go with the Bucks defense over 5.5 sacks.
Oh, wow.
As a team, over 5.5 sacks.
You know, I'm going to make another bold prediction for the other team. The team I think is going to lose, the Giants. I'm going to say that Saquon plays the full game.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not going to say like blows up or anything, but I'm going to say like plays a full game.
That's tough. He plays the full game.
Well, I mean, he's come back from injury.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction, that he's going to be healthy enough to play the full game.
Let me see what they say on the.
Which, if he is healthy enough to play a full game, that gives them a chance to win.
It does. Let's see here. Saquon Barkley active. Let's see what they say.
Tom says big game for Galladay.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They just say that Booker might be out, so it's possible. Look at that. 34-13. Book it on the board. Someone's with Paul on this. Look, this the breaks is exactly thinking what Paul's got right there. I'll do another favor. I'll see Evan Ingram with 1 touchdown. Evan Ingram.
All right. There you go.
Evan Ingram.
He's a guy that's probably available in some fantasy leagues, I would imagine. because I know he's available in multiple leagues that I'm a part of right now. Because
Yeah.
I've been considering picking him up just because I've needed like bye week fill-in.
So who's probably been the most consistent fantasy football player besides the guy we're probably all thinking with his Pokai performance yesterday?
Good old JT.
Yeah, with an H.
Yep.
Deebo Samuel, so underrated and has been beyond consistent this season.
Yep.
Eckler,
Honestly, like, I'm so prone to have to say this because if I didn't say it like after the past 2 years, James Conner.
Yeah.
James freaking Conner. The man destroys cancer and the man destroys doubt.
It's great.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift has definitely been better than I thought he would be. Yeah, Debo, man. Absolutely.
I'll give you a little quick pickup if people haven't picked him up already. Is Elijah Moore, wide receiver for the Jets? If he's available, I'd go snag that dude quick. If I were anybody.
He's our 6th receiver, Anthony.
Yeah. We have
that guy is balling. And then now Carter's out for 3 weeks, so they got to figure out a new running back over there. Probably looks like Tevin Coleman. So
I hear Le'Veon Bell's available for the repeat tour now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good on the whole Le'Veon Bell experience. Well, last question that I'm going to ask for the squad this week. And again, guys, if you want anything specific asked in future streams, you can leave comments. One of our questions was actually taken from something the Breaks left in a different video stream altogether. So I'm getting ideas from everywhere. If you have any to contribute, make sure you leave comments and let us know. That's definitely helpful. But being that this week is Thanksgiving and we get an extra day of like full day football, which is going to be amazing. I just want to go around. Like, what are you guys thankful for? I'll start this time. Like, you guys know 2021 has not been the year for Picksburgh. Yeah, it has not been a year for me, but I'm thankful for you boys holding it down and being good friends to me. So I'm very thankful for the 3 of you knuckleheads.
My man. I agree with that too, Mr. Hot Hands.
Yeah. I'll jump in, man. As you know, you guys are aware of, about 2 weeks ago, my family took a big hit. So I'm just thankful for the memories and of having your family there and growing and getting new friends and new family members along the way in certain endeavors, man. That's what I'm thankful for. Can't give up on your family no matter where they are.
For sure.
I'll agree with that sentiment. It's a little bit of a rough year for me too. Anthony and I have been friends for a couple of years. One of the highlights of my year was meeting Anthony and Marty. And going to get. I mean, even though his Steelers lost to my Raiders, I was one of the highlights of my year. Is like because I hadn't been to a NFL game in a very long time, so the opportunity just to spend a weekend with Pittsburgh, kind of recharge after little rough spot. So again, it's kind of come back and refocus. But I'm just grateful for the new friendships that I got. Alan is a new friend of mine this year too. So just grateful for all that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you say anything more, or did I just?
Honestly, man, I'm just grateful for every day that God gives me on this earth. But just as much, grateful for that. I'm also super grateful for the fact that, if you put your mind to something and you put your head down and you just work and you grind for something, great things can happen.
Absolutely.
And just the fact that we have the opportunity that, to move forward based on what we're doing and to better ourselves in every aspect of life, just by working a little bit harder every day to get a little bit better every day. I think it's a pretty damn cool thing.
Yep. Absolutely. Hard work definitely pays off. And
look at that thing. Oh,
bye. Bye-bye, guys.
She just brought the rating.
Bye-bye, guys. Wait, what is that? She said, take Tom Brady. Tom Brady. This is
one more
family.
thing to be thankful for, Anth, that your Cavaliers are finally looking like an acceptable basketball team.
They have a better record than the Lakers, dude. I'm done.
Are you trying to say they haven't always been?
Oh no. Hey, she has the same hair as Verishal. That's not right.
She
Look
does.
at that. Look, she does. Wait a minute. Wait, put that back up. Viv, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to talk to Nayla about this.
That is one gorgeous Brazilian.
Wait, I'm gonna have to talk to Nayla about this.
Yes,
We were wondering where she got her curls from. This is questionable now.
Hey, just be thankful I didn't pull this one up. This was a close second.
Oh yeah.
Because while we're grinding and working hard, competition's at the rally.
Yes, sir. It's Klein.
But we definitely appreciate all you guys being here, hanging out with us as we're knuckleheads, hanging out, doing what we love to do, talk about the hobby and hang out with each other. So thanks again for everyone being here. We'll be doing this again next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you tell a friend or share this out with somebody so that they'll be able to come experience it as well. Till then, guys, say bye, Viv. Tell everybody bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.